Radio Disney, it's Candace. Welcome to the show. All right, so normally we would have the first caller contest right now. We're going to get to that a little bit later in the show today. That is because I have a special guest in the studio. Will you guys welcome Kat Cressida to Radio Disney? How are you?
I'm so good. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you. And for those of you who don't know, Kat is one of the voices you hear in Disneyland. You've done so many voices over the years, but tell us the big one that we are including in our sweepstakes on Instagram.
The Black Widow Bride.
That's so weird.
It is really weird, isn't it?
What if you just this whole interview in that voice? Would that be weird for you?
It would be so weird.
Why?
Because it's a voice, and because I'm talking to you, and you're a homie, and I would want to be me.
Yeah. We'll just do this, Kat. Hang on.
Here comes the bride. For better or for worse.
The Black Widow Bride is from the attraction at Disneyland. We all know it, the Haunted Mansion. How did you get this role of Constance on the attraction?
Serendipity and fate and awesomeness. I feel so lucky, and I try so hard to say that every awesome interview I'm lucky to do, because I was the little girl who kind of came from a little bit of legacy, you know, my father having worked with the WDI. So growing up in the parks and being the little girl, I used to sneak in a tape recorder just so that I could, when I got home, sort of reenact and imitate and impersonate. And I didn't know there was a thing called voiceover, but I loved the voices in the park. So that's kind of what I cut my teeth on, you know, growing up and loving to tell stories and read out loud from books. And a lot of people in Hollywood, you know, you do different careers. I was lucky enough to have an on-camera career, but realized that the on-set culture wasn't exactly my speed.
Gotcha.
And was so lucky to come into voiceover when I did, which was about 15 years ago. But I never thought, in all of the times bringing people to the park, playing tour guide. I was a cast member for a while in Storybook Land, which was awesome.
Oh, cool.
I really thought that was as high as I was going to go on a voiceover gig, was running the little canal boats. And to be invited into audition, they wouldn't tell us. They keep everything sort of, you know, very close to the vest because it's WDI. And
okay, what's WDI? We have so many acronyms at the Walt Disney Company.
Sorry. Yes.
No, that's fine.
That's Walt Disney Imagineering.
Okay.
The amazing, you know, creators of all of the Disney Parks magics with the attractions and everything. So when you're brought in, you're just sort of given a couple of hints as to what it might be that they're going to be looking for in the first audition, and they were very vague. And then second, the callback was when they said it might be for a classic attraction that you would know well. So, you know, obsessively went home and pulled out everything I could. And before the final callback, I did not sleep at all. I was just cramming as much as I could about the mansion, because they wanted a voice that would seem both classic and a part of it, so it wouldn't be jarring or, hey, what's this? But also contemporary enough that it would appeal to today's families and kids. And, you know, she was sassy. She's a little bit alluring. And what I was told was she's the voice that no man can resist. She's like a siren.
Totally. Well, hang out. We're going to talk more about the Haunted Mansion. Of course, our Instagram sweepstakes, where you can win a chance to go on the Haunted Mansion with Kat. Check it out. Plus, we're going to get some inside secrets from the person who knows Disneyland better than anyone else I know. That's coming up next on Radio Disney.
Don't think of
Radio Disney, it's Candace in the studio with Kat Cressida, the voice of Constance, the Black Widow Bride from the Haunted Mansion. You were just describing her as sassy, as a siren. That's a good way to put it, but she's also like a little creepy, but not so creepy that you're like, ooh. You know what I mean? Like, she's very, like, I don't know, soothing in a ghostly way.
Yeah.
Does that even make sense?
Well, anytime you say wedding vows and you put a spin on them, you know, as opposed to being a heartfelt, she's obviously reliving in her own mind fond memories of all of her grooms and what she did with them.
Yeah. Well, I first met you at the park. We were broadcasting live for our 24-hour broadcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And you were walking around the park with us, giving us, like, random facts about, like, everything in the park. So you have to tell me, because you have all this insider, like, Disneyland attraction knowledge, what's, like, one of the coolest facts you could tell us about Disneyland?
Wow. Well, the thing is now with, you know, with smartphones and everybody having a personal computer, you can Google so much of this stuff. So when I learned it, it really felt like, ooh, you're learning an insight.
Yeah, I don't like to Google, though, so this is better for me, for you to just tell me.
Okay, so one of the things is that the dead center of Disneyland, the very center of it, if you were to measure the circumference from the center, is a little spike that was driven in sometime after opening day. And when you walk over it, it just looks like a little coin embedded in the cement.
Really?
as you cross the drawbridge through the castle into Fantasyland from Main Street, USA, from the hub. If you look down, just as you exit the castle, there's sort of this, looks like a brass coin, but that's the top of a giant railroad spike, because of course Walt Disney loved his railroads, and that was sort of the inspiration for Disneyland. So if you look down, and I bend down and I rub it for luck.
Oh, is it good luck?
It is good luck, and you can see that it's very, very shiny from a lot of people having rubbed it who know.
Okay.
But it's, you make a wish, sort of maybe just as effective as pitching that penny into the wishing well. But yeah.
Okay. You know where I'm going to be next time I'm at the park, over there like, hey, need some good luck.
Yeah. And of course, Walt's apartment.
Yes.
Everybody knows where that is, right?
That's up in the castle or no?
No.
Wait, it's over by the Jungle Book ride?
No, but we can go all day.
I know, right?
What's on top of the Jungle Cruiser? Exactly,
the fire station. Yeah. Our studio audience is smarter than me.
So, it's when you first walk into Disneyland and you pass by, I think it's Lost and Found and City Hall.
Been there a few times.
Just past there's the little firehouse, and up above it is a window, and there's a little lantern that always stays on in honor of Walt, because that was his apartment.
Got it. All right, I feel really smart. We got more with Kat Cressida. She is the voice of the Black Widow Bride on the Haunted Mansion. Our Instagram sweepstakes, today's the last day to get into it, so you can be on the Haunted Mansion with Kat. We'll talk more about that next on Radio Disney.
Radio Disney.
Radio Disney is Candace in the studio right now with Kat Cressida. She is the voice of Constance, the Black Widow Bride, on the Haunted Mansion attraction. You've probably been to it at the Disney parks. I feel like I may have only been on that maybe once, and I think it was a few years ago. I know, everyone's like, what?
What's up with that?
I know. Well, now I have to go back, because after having you in and everything like that, I'm going to be looking for more of those little details. So can you tell us the history of the Haunted Mansion or something cool about it we wouldn't know?
Wow. I mean, there's so much great stuff out right now, and of course the LA Times did a great spread a couple of weeks ago, which had the whole history of the mansion as well, with a lot of the Imagineers pitching in their stories. But the origins of it, according to all of the archives, Walt always wanted a haunted mansion, haunted house, something of that ilk. It was one of the first things when he knew that he was growing Disneyland beyond just a miniature railroad attraction, which was what it first was supposed to be. And it went through a lot of different stories, but what I love, and what I was taught when I was a little girl, and my dad would take me on the line, and by the way, I was lied to get me on the Haunted Mansion. Because
really?
I was a girly girl. I was not, as ferocious and courageous as my little brother, so I was told it was the Magic Castle.
Oh, wow.
So that I
Look at you
wouldn't
now.
be afraid. Yeah.
Scaring kids.
Yeah. Still a little afraid of it. But he would tell me stories and urban legends about it. And, for example, the weather vane. If you look up at the top of the mansion, the weather vane is of a ship, which really doesn't make any sense, because nothing in the mansion really is related to ships or nautical or anything like that. The reason is that the original backstory was that it was a sea captain.
Oh.
And I was given a different story, which actually I'd recorded a few years ago as a ghost story that we did with Walt Disney Records. But basically, it was a sea captain or a sea pirate, and he had a secret, a deep, dark secret, and he had a beautiful young bride that he loved dearly, and she found out his secret. And in some stories, maybe she mysteriously disappeared when she found out that secret. In some stories, she died of a broken heart because he never returned, which is the one I love.
Aww.
Which makes the most sense to me, because for years, as any true Disney addict knows, it was just a bride with a beating heart who did not speak. Sometimes she moaned a little bit in different iterations, but I loved that story. It was so Edgar Allan Poe and wistful and romantic in a sad, creepy sort of way. So
we're glad she speaks, because that
now she speaks.
Yeah.
And now she's a different, cheerful, very happy, optimistic ghost.
I said D-A.
Disney and Candace hanging out with Kat Cressida. She's the voice of the Black Widow Bride on the Haunted Mansion. What's your favorite part of the attraction? Like, when you go on it, what do you like the most?
Oh my gosh, that is such a good question. I don't think I get asked what my favorite attraction is a lot, but my favorite part of the probably the ballroom.
Okay.
I just find that so cool. There's so much going on in it. So many different ghosts popping out, coming to life with their own backstories and histories. And it's the first time that we see the ghosts. They're sort of spoken about, and we hear Madame Leota sort of incanting to bring them to materialize, and then you see them.
Right.
And that, I think, as a little girl, that was very magical to suddenly see them, and they looked so beautiful and romantic, swirling down on the ballroom floor.
So tell me what you brought. This thing looks like something I would have bought at the Disney store. What's this box?
The mysterious box. This is really awesome. I am so excited. And as you can see, it's dusty because it hides. It's in a drawer. I can't keep it out because she glows in the dark, which is amazing.
We have so many lights in here. I would turn them off.
What this is the old bride from way back. This is about 20 years old, and it was given to me as a gift by someone who was a huge, collector of odds and ends and knew that I was a Disneyland fan. This is way before I was in the mansion, doing the voice of. And I always hid it because it was sort of creepy and cool and awesome. And when I got the role, I suddenly remembered that I had this hidden away. And this is the bride with the beating heart.
Okay.
The old.
That is
bride
really
that
cool.
was in
That's
the
weird.
mansion.
It was like a sign or something.
That I had it all these years, and it was sort of tucked away like a wish.
Yeah.
And it's kind of neat. So I would share it with you.
I'm gonna have to take a picture of that and put it on my Instagram.
Okay, sounds cool.
Well, the sweepstakes is on. It's on our Instagram.
Yeah.
Basically, you have to take a scary selfie or a photo of you in costume, and we all have a ton of those since Halloween was just here over the weekend. Post it. Use the hashtag #RDHauntedSweepstakes. The last day to enter is today, and if they win, they're going to meet you, go on the attraction with you.
I know, it's so exciting.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah,
we could talk more history and more Disneyland trivia, and it would be amazing.
Yeah, Kat will fill you in on all of the little details you never knew even happened at Disneyland, which I think is very cool. So enter now. Thank you so much for being here, Kat.
Thank you so much for having me, Candace.
Kat
it's always
Cressida,
great.
the voice of the Black Widow Bride on Radio Disney.
Thank you.